Senator Shelley Moore Capito is a leading GOP senator on this issue, and she joins us now. Senator, thanks very much for being with us. I see you there in the Russell Senate Office building. The sweeping immigration actions announced today by the White House, there are a lot of requirements tied to them, including spouses wanting to apply for legal residency, must have been in the country for a decade. So do you still see this as a potentially dangerous step for the country, even though there are these restrictions, there are these thresholds to get a green card?
You know, I think what the president is doing is trying to mask over the dismal failure that he's had at the southern border throughout his tenure. We've got millions and millions of undocumented illegals here. Yes, they are committing crimes. Yes, they are committing murders of our citizens, and we have terrorists now that we know that have come through the southern border. So instead of focusing on that, he wants to focus on something he believes will give him some election year bump, which is to grant work visas to people who are married and who are here undocumented or are married and been here a long time. You know, to me, these are just fluff pieces that A, don't solve the problem, that B, just speak to a certain constituency that he's losing on. And so I think it also will end up in the courts, and it'll never come about. So I don't put a whole lot into what he did today. I wish he would focus on what we see are criminal elements coming across our border, carrying fentanyl too, and killing our citizens.
Senator, according to the White House, it would essentially give this parole, as they're calling it, to 500,000 individuals who are here in this country, albeit illegally. Do you think it's fair, if they've been married to an American for 10 years, to be given this? It's not citizenship, as far as we know. It's ability to work, a green card. Do you think that's fair or equitable in any way?
You know, I think that the substance of what he did today is just trying to appease certain elements who are looking at his immigration policy and don't agree with the direction he's going. Instead of spending his energy on people who've been here 10 years and are married to an American citizen, you know, that all sounds great to certain people. But the fact of the matter is he's turned a blind eye to where we have the real problem. Let's address the real problem here, Mr. President. I think that's where he should put his efforts.
Okay, Senator, you allege that several groups which receive money under the Inflation Reduction Act are actually anti-law enforcement at the border and should therefore not get federal funds. So what are you alleging, and what are you planning on doing about it?
When the Inflation Reduction Act was passed, I said that at that point in time, with the billions of dollars that were being spent there, that we're going to have a lack of transparency, there's too much money going out, nobody's going to be accountable. And what we have found through the hard work of my staff and my oversight capacity is that certain groups are getting these environmental justice grants that are anti-American, anti-police, pro-Hamas, and anti-enforcement of immigration. So this has happened. $50 million to the Climate Justice Initiative, and two other groups through Fordham University who are immigration groups are going to oversee dollars from the Inflation Reduction Act. They're anti-enforcement immigration. They don't believe in safety in our cities, and yet they're making decisions about climate money. That makes no sense. While the president says he's trying to, fix the immigration problem. There's no accountability here. That's just $100 million I've gotten into. That's not into the billions, and we're still digging.
Okay, Senator, for the record, we have tried to contact some of those groups that you mentioned. They have not yet responded to us. I want to move on to these new figures showing the level of border...
Yeah, I wouldn't respond either if I were them.
All right. We'll give them some time. There are some new figures, however, that showing the level of Border Patrol apprehensions on the southern border is down since the president announced his actions to curb asylum, the ability to claim asylum when coming into this country for illegal migrants. In the last week, they're down below 3,000 for each day, which is significantly lower than it's been in the immediate past anyway. Our correspondent on the border reports this is the lowest number in 3 years. Does this mean the president's actions are working?
No, it doesn't mean the president's actions are working because they've changed the way they're calculating the numbers. If you come through a border station and you claim asylum, you're there illegally, but you're coming through one of the one of the border crossings, you're not counted as coming in illegally anymore, according to the way they're calculating that starting last month.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.